Why was it that the provincial councils was in fact ignored and the government overruled it and went ahead with the Divi Naguma bill?
First, establish another provincial council, get their consent so that it will be beneficial throughout the country.
According to the 13th Amendment, the Northeast province should have been established years ago. Why wasn't it not done? Isn't this a structural flaw in the 13th Amendment?
We've been having a war prevailing in this country. First, we have to demine those areas, provide rehabilitation, make a conducive environment for the people to go and vote in the first place.
Ma'am, don't you believe that the ethnic conflict occurred in the first place because there wasn't proper devolution of power?
Ma'am, your time is running out, so please let me continue with my arguments. A provincial council has been granted with plenary power, that is the complete authority to legislate on matters related to list 1. Your mom knows what's best for you and my mom knows what's best for me. Similarly, a provincial council can do a comprehensive analysis as to what the needs and wants of the provinces are and legislate laws which can correspond to the exact needs. If centralization takes place, decisions of the government might mismatch with those of the people in the provinces. So me and my team members strongly believe 13th Amendment should not be abolished.
With the conclusion of round 2, we're ready to present both to the opposition and the proposition to use their final lifeline, a chance to consult their coaches to receive a third-party opinion. This advice will definitely prove crucial in whether they will move on towards the grand finale or not. While we take a small commercial break, let us provide both the teams a chance to consult their coaches.
File a case against the father who has abducted with her child. Now, where do you suggest that she needs to go?
Ma'am, first of all, I don't see the relevance of your question because what we are discussing today is whether we should give autonomy to the provincial councils. I do not see how filing a case has anything to do with it.
Answer my question, ma'am. Where do you suggest that she needs to go? She's in Maathal, she has to file a case.
She needs to find a lawyer and file a case.
So which court does she has to go?
She has to go to the court that the lawyer advises her to go to. I'm sorry, ma'am, I fail to see how the relevance is. Unless you show me the relevance, I refuse to answer the question.
Yes, ma'am. When you say you're abolishing the 13th Amendment, you're clearly indirectly mentioning abolish High Court, the Magistrate Court, and...
Ma'am, you fail to understand. Our purpose in abolishing the 13th Amendment is because we believe that it does not give devolution of power to the provincial councils. We believe it's a lip service. We come up with a solution which gives more autonomy to these provincial councils to take decisions pertaining to their particular provinces. Yes, ma'am, your question.
How does it not give devolution of power? Explain, ma'am.
Ma'am, when the governor is appointed by the president, when the president can dissolve the provincial council at his whim and fancy, when there is a centralized monetary fund, when we see that the provincial council in the northeastern province has not even been constituted still because of the central government, we see that there is no proper devolution of power.
You go on saying that you need more devolution, but you don't need federalism as well. Give out a solution without any confusions.
Ma'am, our burden of proof today is not to show you the solution. Our burden of proof today is to tell you that the 13th Amendment should be abolished, which I think we have done. We are going further by telling you we expect a more autonomous rule like we see in USA, like we see in Spain, like we see in Switzerland and Canada. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, provide proper evidence saying that the Divi Naguma bill has been approved by the Sri Lankan government and the Supreme Court.
Ma'am, when the Divi Nagama bill was going to be passed, the Supreme Court wanted the government to take a referendum. But the government very conveniently overruled the judicial system of Sri Lanka, which is yet another indication that the 13th Amendment is merely lip service. Yes, ma'am.
Then you're clearly beating around the bush. You say you want provincial councils and then you say you want to abolish the 13th Amendment. Provincial councils came into being after the implementation of the 13th Amendment.
Ma'am, you are totally confused because what we see is that the purpose of the 13th Amendment is merely lip service in the 13th Amendment because, ma'am, we do not have proper devolution of power. Our purpose today is to have proper. We cannot just improve the 13th Amendment. We need to abolish the 13th Amendment and come up with a whole new government governance system which gives more autonomy. Yes,
so you need coordinate powers between the government and the provincial bodies.
Ma'am, we suggest a system where the centralized government has minimal intervention and the provincial committees have a lot of autonomy, and we have the judicial body acting as a third party to intervene if there is a conflict happening, or a neutral third party where the centralized government does not have a lot of central power. Yes, ma'am.
Don't you realize that is exactly what the 13th Amendment
No,
is
ma'am.
doing,
The central government has a lot of power. When they have the right to appoint the government and go against the judicial system, why do you keep insisting that the central government does not have too much of power? Yes, ma'am, your question.
Ma'am, now assume that you are said to be the best speaker. You received the letter in Chinese. How would you feel to read it? Do you know Chinese? First
Ma'am,
question.
I have a very good reply to your question, because you see, in paper, in the 13th Amendment, Tamil is an official language, but we see that every bill that is passed in Parliament is in Sinhala, which brings us back to the point that everything in the 13th Amendment is merely lip service. We want more devolution, we want a better Sri Lanka, which is why we are asking for a better governance system. Yes, ma'am.
If it is not properly implemented, then implement it effectively.
Ma'am, implementation depends on the structure. When the structure is bad, ma'am, how can the implementation be good?
Ma'am, you're suggesting that we need devolution of power, but then you want to abolish the 13th Amendment. You're actually making us into a confusion right here. Give us a proper solution. How are you going to provide devolution of power?
Because the way you want to dissolve the power creates federalism in our country.
And certainly federalism is not a very positive form of governance when we come into consider about Sri Lanka, unitary state. Sri Lanka is a unitary state, and devolution of power takes place in a province specific manner. It is the only healthy way criteria which Sri Lanka should be followed. Certainly not federalism, ma'am. I'm now ready to invite Afra, who will be representing the opposition, to answer the questions proposed to her by Lyceum International School, Nugegood. Afra, are you ready to announce your selections?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Salamini, Sevumini, Hasita.
If you think the 13th Amendment is efficient, why do you discuss about improving the 13th Amendment?
Karumena genetlia lejevu dajobu desu. Do you agree or not?
Ma'am.
No, ma'am, you can't agree because, ma'am, before the 13th Amendment was established, the Tamil was not an official language, and at present, yes, there are faults with the Tamil being an official language. Therefore, under Article 154Q, A and D, provisions should be taken, additional measures should be taken to improve the 13th Amendment, where we should take one step forward by improving it and not one step backward by abolishing it. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, if you keep on improving the 13th Amendment, to what extent is it going to remain as the 13th Amendment? Won't it technically become another new amendment as a whole?
No, ma'am, because it will be called an improved version of the 13th Amendment, because you have been harping on about an alternative system of devolution. From 1926 to 2008, many alternative systems of devolutions were proposed and they were rejected. The 13th Amendment is the only devolutional power which maintains the unitary state of the government, and therefore it should be improved and not repealed. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. About the Divinagam bill, a referendum was needed by the Supreme Court itself, which is not respected. How will you say that this Winsbury principle will be respected like that?
First, it's Winsbury rules, sir, where it judges the reasonableness of the governor. And number two, Article 154 N4A ensures that the governor's power is curtailed. The problem lies with implementation. Therefore, like you all said, get rid of the structural flaws in order to make it more implementable so that it will be improved and rather than repealed. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, now you talk about how exactly you believe that the 13th Amendment is so very good, and yet you propose that there should be more improvements done to it. And also regarding the issue of the governor's duties, the fact that the governor itself is appointed by the president and at the whim and fancy of the president will be able to dissolve any provincial council. What do you have to say about this, ma'am?
Number one, the 13th Amendment was introduced in order to stop federation, and the governor's power is subsisting as a safeguard in order to prevent federation. And also, ma'am, like you said, we can't stay with the present 13th Amendment because there are structural flaws according to you all. So if there are structural flaws, if there are irritation, then get rid of the irritation according to the amendment itself instead of abolishing it.
Ma'am, don't you believe that you cannot just improve the 13th Amendment, because the 13th Amendment is wholly about centralization. But as you say, you are for devolution. So don't you agree we need to come up with a whole new amendment?
Ma'am, the Constitution, 1978 Constitution itself was amended more than 18 times. Therefore, if the 13th Amendment is slightly altered in order to make it more implementable, it will not turn into a new form of amendment, ma'am.
Ma'am, the Supreme Court itself says that the ultimate legislative power is within the hands of the Parliament. And you say that it still devolutes power. What are you going to say about that, ma'am?
Ma'am, sorry, sir. Devolution should be conducted under the unitary state of the country, and the fact that legislation, the ultimate legislation, is with the centre is in order to ensure that devolution happens within the unitary framework of the country. This will prevent federation, sir, because we face the Elam law in order to prevent federation, and the 13th Amendment just does that. Yes,
ma'am, don't you believe that when the centre is in charge of devolution, there will be no meaningful devolution? There should be an impartial body judging this.
So what you all are, ma'am, what you all are stating is to improve federation by giving more and more power to the provinces. You are saying to improve federation, whereas you are saying the centre should not have any power at all and the provinces should have power. So ma'am, the 13th Amendment, which was a resolution for the minority conflicts and where it gave priority to Tamil language, should be maintained in order to address the rights of the minorities in a provincial basis.
Ma'am, don't you believe that the reserve list just strips away all the power from the provincial councils?
Ma'am, regarding the reserved list, in 2000, the Republic of Sri Lanka Bill of 2000 was passed, where the national policies were demarcated and its scope, the formulation for authority and also the matters in respect of what may be formulated were proposed. But later on, by short-sighted politicians, it was dropped. So if it was able to be demarcated in 2000 itself, then at present, where it is 2012, it is quite clear that demarcation is not impossible. So national policies will be curtailed to a great extent.
Ladies and gentlemen, we fail to understand how this is possible. They keep on talking about improving the 13th Amendment, but they still insist that it will remain as the 13th Amendment, which is a technical and also principally at fault, because we see that it cannot be so.
And also, ladies and gentlemen, what you have to realize is that even though the opposition has told us that one of the main purposes of the 13th Amendment was to bring about representative democracy, what we see is that the northern and eastern provincial councils itself have not been even constituted. Thus, we see that this is a major flaw of the 13th Amendment itself.
We saw an intense and heated up round 3, the rapid fire round. We are impatient to see how the sum ups would be like. Before that, ready to take a short commercial break. Stay tuned.